Hello and welcome back to another Fortnite video. Today, we're going to do a top 10 on what you may ask. Well, you probably know because you clicked on the video. We're going to do the top 10 of my favorite seasons. Because I'm fairly new to this YouTube thing, I still think I just want to talk to you guys just about so you can learn some more about me. Just a reminder, this is my opinion, don't fire me up. Now let's get into number 10. Starting off number 10 with Chapter 2, Season 4. I've been known in the past not to really enjoy this season, but it's grown on me over time. Personally, my favorite part of this season was the loot pool. It was great. They had the pump shotgun, they had the combat shotgun, they had that Stark rifle. It was all fairly great. I can't complain about it. Personally, the battle pass just wasn't for me. Maybe because I'm not a huge fan of Marvel, but that's alright. I still liked it in the end. This season also had a really good Fortnite, my personal favorite, Midas's Revenge. And also the map was pretty good because we had Stark Industries and all that. Finally, I enjoyed the live event. Fighting Galactus was literally the coolest thing ever. Very nice, love the season. The best shotgun pool ever in my opinion. So let's move on to number 9. Okay, so I know everyone hates this season, but I liked it enough to put it on the list. First of all, I think it was a great end to Chapter 1. It was just a big thank you letter. They brought all of this cool stuff back from Chapter 1's past, like the Zombie Retail Row. They brought back Greasy Grove, Moisty Palms. It was great. The map was just magnificent in my opinion. In my opinion, this season had one of the best battle passes ever. Personally, my favorite from that pass was Catalyst, but people were known to like Ultima Knight. He was really cool. Yonder with 3? Yeah, that was his name. And I also liked how random the loot pool was. They added all these cool stuff like junk rifts, made some awesome unvaults, and the best update of this season, I forget what it was, but they vaulted the combat and they vaulted something else. But I just remember it was the best thing ever. Also, this is going to get me fired, but I liked the mechs. They were like super fun. They were just interesting, but they got annoying after a while. But then I do remember they kind of vaulted them. Finally, the black hole. It was awesome. Next, Season 3. This season was just fun. I had a hard time placing this because, it was good, but it's not my favorite. This season had one of the biggest day 1 map changes ever, and I was all for it because half the locations were there and flooded. I did like how they made the no sweat insurance save Pleasant Park, Holly, and I think Sweaty Sands. Also, they made one of the best shotguns ever, in my opinion, the charged shotgun. That thing was a beast if you knew how to use it. Also enjoyed the mythics. They invented the yeet launcher, which that thing was fun. In my opinion, the hugest thing about this season that they ever came out with was the cars. Those things are still in the game, and I still think they were the best thing added in that season. And the pass wasn't that bad. They made one of my favorite skins in the game, Jules. They had Aquaman. They had Kit, which I don't know why, but I love him. Sadly, this season didn't have any lore, but it was more just a chillax season. Now that's really what I have to say. Now let's move on to number 7. I also forgot to mention that they brought the meme. You invite Aquaman. He said yes. Chapter 2, Season 5. This season was pretty awesome. Why, you may ask? Well, the 0 point, obviously. Something that really made me love this season was the map. The map was so amazing with the 0 point desert, and then they had Salty Towers, they had Hunter's Haven and Colossal Coliseum. That place was fun. They also had the Hunters this season, which was the Battle Pass theme, Hunters from Realities. That was awesome. They also had Mando in that Battle Pass. He was cool. And a huge thing about this season is that they would bring Hunters from games, movies, and all this such, which that was the start to the Gaming Legends and the start to them bringing older types of movies because we had Predator and Terminator. And the loot pool was super cool. They made a huge buff to the tac shotgun, which made it overpowered, but they also did add the lever action. Enjoyed that. Not really much else to say this season except the butter barn. Now let's move on. Number 6, I chose our current season of Fortnite and also the new chapter, Chapter 3. And I know it hasn't ended yet, but I love this season. I am such a fan. It is such a great start to a chapter compared to Chapter 2, Season 1. Might as well start off with the Battle Pass. I love this pass. It's one of my favorites. You've had Foundation, which I've been begging for since Season 6. We also have one of my favorite collabs ever, Spider-Man. And the other guys are actually pretty cool, but Spider-Man and Foundation are my favorites. I also like how in the lore they introduced the Seven back, and they're finally on the island doing their own stuff with the Sanctuary being their home, quote-unquote, home base. I like that a lot with the lore, and the IO are coming back as well. That might be a future season thing. Now the big thing about this season is the loot pool. They practically reinvented it, which I was quite a fan of. For over 4 years, we've had the same exact loot pool. Sure, they're bringing back some older vaulted items, but I love these new guns, except the shotguns that can be buffed. But the ARs, that's some GZOP, it's awesome. Personally, I am a really big fan of the crown system where it crowns your victories. I think it would be cool if there's like a new crown victory emote each season. Count that season's wins. Just a cool idea. And I won't go into much detail here, but I've already talked about I love the map. Personally, top 3 favorite drops are Greasy, Condo, and Tilted. I love those places a lot. And so far, all the new items have been awesome. Most of them have been heals. I'm not complaining. The Guzzle Juice I like, Med Mist, Pizza Box I really love. That's it for number 6. Really like it. Let's move on. Number 5, we have Chapter 2, Season 8. This season was a great ending to Chapter 2. They also brought back the Lord, the Kevin the Cube. I did really love this season, but my only problem is the map kinda sucked until the end. When it got full corruption, oh my god, it looked awesome. But mid-corruption, it wasn't that good. Convergence was an awesome POI though. I also was really a huge fan of the war effort. We got to vote to bring back. Loved that we brought back the Yeet Launcher. The combat guns, I did not like that the combat shotgun one, but whatever. I did like the combat AR. Really hope we do get to see the combat SMG eventually. Also brought back the Flint Knock. Pretty awesome thing. Also like the Battle Pass. Fabio was amazing. And I also loved the sideways mechanic. It was super awesome. Finally, the event was absolute bus. Okay, let's go. We're going a bit retro now to Season 8. This season was fun as hell. The meta is my favorite meta we've ever had. We had the Pump Shotgun King. We also had the Flint Knock Pistol. This was a great meme season. We also had the Ballers. Remember those camp things for arenas. Speaking of arenas, this was the arena's debut season, which I think was great that Fortnite went competitive. Other people don't. I also like that. This is the season they also removed Siphon and put in arenas. Personally, I don't care if there's Siphon. Also, the Battle Pass was okay. Peely was literally the best skin that passed, and he spawned a great meme. I love Peely. Also, the map was pretty cool. I like the jungle region with the Sunny Steps, Lazy Lagoon, and the volcano. Volcano is cool because it spat you out. Also, like the volcano vents. Those were also super cool. They also had a really cool event where we got to choose what got him vaulted, and we chose the drum gun, and that was its grand return. Up next. Okay, this is a very controversial pick because it's a lot of people's favorites, but number 3 and number 2 were really hard. Number 2 just made the cut. Okay, now let's talk about this season. This season was monumental for the time it came out because after the boring season, Season 1, it had all this awesome stuff. Starting with henchmen and NPCs on the map. That was awesome. Also, I love this Battle Pass. Midas is one of my favorite Tier 100s to date. And the Maya thing was the first time we ever saw that, so that was pretty cool as well. They also had the Ghost and Shadow thing, which not a lot of people like. I think it was cool because you chose Ghost or Shadow. You couldn't have both. This is the first time they did Enlightenment with all gold. If you have gold, Peely, I respect you. My one problem with the season was the length, but that's not much to complain about. Again, the mythic bosses were awesome because this is the first time we had permanent mythics. Personally, my favorite was the Grotto. That was a really unique location. This is one of my favorite seasons ever, and I really wish we could go back to it. They also had really unique items added. But that's it for number 3. Now let's move on to number 2. Now to my favorite season of Chapter 2. Chapter 2, Season 7. First of all, I love the theme of this season. The aliens attacking the island was awesome. The mothership just ominously floating over the island was super cool. And I also like the UFO vehicle. I know, it was overpowered. And one of my favorite things for the items, they had something called IO Tech, which was IO weapons like the pulse rifle, railgun. Railgun was an awesome sniper. And they also had Alien Tech, which was the nanites, the gravitron, and all the other stuff. And I really loved the Battle Pass. It had three amazing collabs. I'm sorry, forgot about Gugumon. We had Rick, we had Superman, one of my favorite DC heroes, and one of my favorite Fortnite characters, Dr. Sloan, and she's still in the story. That was awesome. And the map was cool because it changed over time. And I want to rant about this season way more, but I'm starting to run out of time. So, hey, I'll talk about this more in the future. Lastly, my favorite season of all time, Season 7. I have a lot of love for this season and nostalgia. But it was just so good. Well, let's start with the Battle Pass. One of my favorite skins of the game, Ice King. Very good Battle Pass. Lynx was also a very nice one. I also like the map. And it has my favorite ever location, Polar Peak. That place was just amazing. And it's my favorite Fortnite map to date. Also, the loot pool was super fun. They also invented all these wintry items like Sneaky Snowmen and such. It was awesome. And the biggest thing that came from this season was creative mode. This was monumental. I love it so much. And we also had our first concert ever from a creator, the Marshmallow concert. It was really cool. I want to gush about this season way more in another video in the future, so let me know if you'd like to see me talk about Season 7 more. That's it for the video. If you liked it, like, subscribe, and share. And let me know in the comments what is your favorite Fortnite seasons. That's it from me today, guys. Bye-bye.